I've been getting a lot of questions about the unseen world. Our physical world is our physical reality, but the unseen reality is also a reality, what some call true reality. Should we surrender to this unseen reality? Go with the flow? Should we have faith in what we can't see? And should we trust forces that maybe we don't understand? Today, we're going to talk about destiny as our unseen reality and whether we should trust destiny or whether we should exercise our free will. This podcast is all about helping you with your spiritual growth so you can overcome obstacles and manifest your destiny to crystallize all things good, basically, to have success on life's journey. It's all about getting unstuck by unlocking your hidden power. So let's get started. Hi there, and welcome. My name is Remy, like Do Re Mi. I'm a best-selling author and creator of the Get Unstuck Revolution. I help extraordinary women just like you dissolve the obstacles in your path so you can bring success to you. Now let's get started with today's video. Okay, let me jump off the screen here and switch over to my laptop. Today, we're talking about destiny versus free will and whether we should trust what we can't see. We can sometimes find ourselves wrangling with choices. Do we sit back and allow destiny to unfold? Do we follow the lead or follow the guidance from universal forces? Or do we take the reins of free will and try to shape our success? If you'd like to see success in full abundance along life's journey, and if you're wanting to tap into a greater knowingness and align with the higher consciousness of your infinite self, instead of the lower ego thinking and negative thoughts that push success away, then this is for you. It's time to be unabashedly, unapologetically, happily untethered to ego thinking. It's time to align with the higher energies of our soul's path instead. This episode is for you if you wonder the specific difference between destiny and free will, how to change the energy patterns that seem to be out of your control and get this energy back on the right path, and how to change our karma. Yes, these episodes are about how to find your hidden power when you want to transform challenges into successes. I like to call it the audacity of alchemy. Because when we're feeling stuck, it's never the situation that has us stuck. It's our energy that's become stuck in anxiety, overwhelm, doubts, worries, frustrations, indecision, and even anger. And often this is because of a spiritual injury that we've experienced, some kind of hidden trauma. So it isn't the pain of our situation, it's the pain of not being connected into the natural energy of who we really are, of being connected to that magical part of us that's a creative vibrational being who can use positive energies to create what we want and bring it into physical manifestation. We can allow our manifestations to materialize and not get stuck in the negative vibrations that block them. These positive energies that we talk about so much are where we find the magic of alchemy, because our choice of frequency, our choice of those positive thoughts and emotions can change the course of our journey. Now, it's interesting because I have a lot of people who ask me, is my future already decided? Because it seems futile to try and design my life if my destiny has already been written. You know, I've spoken recently about one of my favorite all time movies called The Matrix. And I'm talking about the original movie where Neo has this arc of self discovery as he finds a way to fulfill his destiny. So it would seem that his destiny was already decided. Of course, he had the free will to walk away from his destiny. But one day he found himself in front of a young monk who seemed to possess some kind of supernatural power because he was bending a spoon. And the young monk said something along the lines of, realize the truth, there is no spoon. Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends, it's your mind that's bending. This idea that it isn't reality, but our mind that's bending, well, we sometimes find people who inspire us to look at the inadequacy of our logic. And that's what today's episode is all about. Which is more logical, destiny or free will? The unseen reality or the physical reality that seems so logical? Okay. Logic implies that all things are known and we must follow certain parameters and patterns, yet nature is anything but logical. So when the young monk says there is no spoon, it means to let go of logic and reality, to see the inadequacies, to try and understand what seems to make no sense, to let go of what we're so sure we know, and open up instead to what's possible. It's opening up to possibilities even greater than we've imagined because what we think is real may not be real at all. There are two realities, physical reality and the unseen reality. And I've put this up on the screen for you. The unseen moves into physical reality when we make it so, and we stop getting caught up in physical reality and logic. There have been so many masters and philosophers who have presented this idea that thoughts create reality. So the unseen moves into physical reality when we use our thoughts and our energies and our emotions to help something take form in our physical world. All right. Some people believe that our destiny has been decided before we get here to this planet. And just to add another layer, some people believe that our free will has been exercised before we get here to this planet. And universal energies are now working behind the scenes toward that destiny. Others believe that with every crossroads we face, depending on which direction we go, we may be changing our destiny. What are your thoughts about this? Because it begs the question, is our future already decided? And if it has, can it be changed? Will our free will choices change our destiny, or will the unseen forces get us back on track toward our destiny no matter what free will choices we make? All right, let's look at the differences between destiny and free will, and I'll put this up on the screen for you. Destiny is the inevitable fate to which a person is destined, or a predetermined course of events that's beyond human control, versus free will, the ability to choose that is neither determined by fate or divine will. See the difference between the two? Destiny is the inevitable and predetermined course of events that's beyond our control, while free will is the ability to choose that is neither determined by fate or divine will. So every person has a destiny, but throughout each incarnation, destiny and free will meet again and again and again, action and reaction. Is there a spiritual law governing these interactions? Well, yes, and it's called karma. Consider the possibility that these energy patterns or events that seem beyond our control can be changed, but only if we recognize them. And this is where free will comes in. Let's say, for instance, that we have an initial action. We back into someone's car. No one's in sight, and we're in too much of a hurry to leave a note. We see that the damage is just so minimal, and so we just leave so that we aren't late to lunch with our friends. And over the course of time, someone sideswipes us in a parking lot, and then they don't leave a note. And then we open our car door a little too forcefully and bang the car next to us, and we justify in our minds why that's okay. After all, someone damaged our car and didn't do a blasted thing about it. And this pattern just continues over and over and over. It's frustrating, but at any moment in time, we have the free will to respond in a different way. We can break this pattern. Any moment in time, we can recognize this energy pattern and break it. So if someone does something to us or some event occurs that seems unfair, we can recognize that karma might be at play and we can respond differently and break that pattern. So, I'd like to tell you a true story about Karen. I've talked about her before. She was the number two rep for a very popular network marketing company. She was one of those gals who did more by the time she was 30 than most of us have done in our whole lives. On top of being a top salesperson, she had a list of accomplishments from awards to charity work to raising beautiful children, just a real superstar, you know? But she had this thing. She kept getting into car accidents. Every year it was something new, and every year seemed more and more serious. She'd found herself in a wheelchair twice, and both times told she'd never walk again, and both times she did. And the weird thing was, every time she had some kind of accident, it was because she was running late to an appointment. Now, to you and I, maybe it seems obvious. Slow down, plan better, hire an assistant to take some of the load off. There would seem to be an obvious pattern here. Was it her destiny to find herself in a serious accident every year of her life? Well, through our free will, we can choose new actions that bring success and happiness to ourselves and others. So maybe destiny was at play, and then we can change our destiny by using our free will. We can change those patterns. Make sense? It works the same way with relationships. Consider someone who's been married to the same person 5 times. Is it their destiny to be together and so they keep coming back together? Or is there an energy pattern that needs to be changed? And if it is, then marriage number 6 is finally their happy outcome if they'll recognize a pattern that needs to be changed. I heard someone put it beautifully. We harvest our karma. We plant a seed and something grows from that seed, good or bad. And there are so many things that can change our thoughts and actions and those energy patterns that seem to have a life of their own. Our destiny is like a harvest. We act in one way and it produces a crop somewhere in the future. We may have to pull a few weeds along the way. We may have to survive a drought or an infestation of killer crickets or any number of other challenges, but hopefully we'll see the patterns and take some action to change those patterns. So, free will allows us to make choices that can modify and shape our destiny. It goes without saying that with our free will, we can also tap into the unseen world of endless possibilities. With our free will, we can also tap into the unseen world of endless possibilities. It's our job to figure out what we can do to allow our destiny to unfold, just like Neo had to learn that it wasn't about bending the spoon, but to set logic aside and allow his mind to bend so that he could tap into this unseen world where his destiny could begin to unfold. All right. I often hear from people who feel like they've been beat up by life and they tell me no matter what I do, I'm still stuck. I hear this over and over again. They tell me no matter what, this situation just will not change. I think the universe must hate me. And I just can't emphasize this enough, so I'm putting it up on the screen for you. Using positive energies like confidence, courage, kindness to create our future is profound. Or let me say it a different way. The negative energies that come from karma, that come from spiritual injury, that come from that feeling of desperation, like we've tried everything and we're still stuck, all these negative energies will simply stomp all over our success. It's nearly impossible to create success on top of negative energies like irritation, overwhelm, or angst. Let me say it again. It's nearly impossible to create success in business, in relationship, in our finances. It's nearly impossible to create success on top of negative energies. Yes, some of the most negative and angry people in the world seem to have success that's like no other. I get it, but they have their own journey. If you're here and if you've been following this podcast and if you're attracted to this episode and so many others just like it, then I'm betting that what I'm saying is resonating with you. Negative energies are often a sign that we know what we want or we have a sense of what our destiny is, but we're fighting it. We're protesting. We aren't allowing it to come to fruition. And this is why you often hear me say to use our positive energies and not allow the negative emotions to block what we want. The positive energies like clarity, gratitude, compassion are an accelerator to our success. These positive energies help us tap into the unseen world where we can bring success to us faster, while the negative energies just push our success farther and farther away until we can learn how to overcome it. So, using these positive energies to create what we want is a profound strategy because we're tapping into the unseen forces of the universe as co creators. When we're talking about destiny and free will, at any moment that we recognize a pattern that seems to be blocking our success, we can break it. We can create a new pattern right then and right there. And the very best pattern in the world to start attracting positive experiences is to recognize that positive energies like the joy of possibilities are where we find the magic of alchemy and the magic of transformation. We can use our hidden power of positive energies to create a better than expected outcome. As we empower ourselves towards self expression and who we are at our core without the negative thoughts and emotions that can drain us, we're choosing a higher frequency, higher and better thoughts because our choice of frequency, our choice of more positive emotions changes the course of our journey. So, reflecting back on everything we covered today, how can you apply what you've learned? Our physical world is our physical reality, but the unseen reality is just as real. Should we surrender to this unseen reality? Go with the flow? Should we have faith in what we can't see? And should we trust forces that maybe we don't understand? Should we trust destiny? Should we use and exercise our free will? Or maybe use both together? All right. Well, I hope this helps you as you're using the powers of alchemy to transform challenges and obstacles into positive new successes. This podcast is all about helping you have success on your spiritual growth journey. It's all about getting unstuck by unlocking your hidden power. If you still can't get your head around what's got you stuck in life or in business, you can tell me about it. You can send me a question to questions at unlockyourhiddenpower.com. Or you may not know that you can schedule a one on one session with your own personal unstuckologist, that's me, by visiting instantbreakthroughsession.com. This private session is designed to help you tap into your greatest resource, that's you, and together we can make quite a team toward calling in the transformational powers of alchemy. In our time together, we'll uncover your single biggest stuck point, and we'll also go over the most genius way to create clarity so you can just move forward while one obstacle after another is obliterated. And we'll create a strategy to get you moving in a really good direction, the one that's aligned with your life purpose. If this sounds like a match made in heaven, you can hop on over to instantbreakthroughsession.com right now and book the time slot that works best for you. Well, thanks for joining me today, and I'm wishing you a life filled with all the alchemy you need to bring success to you. Feel free to share this video with anyone you know who's feeling stuck, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.